Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading for November 2nd through 8th. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And the Two of Pentacles is a card of change. I feel like you're someone who is actively trying to better your life. This is a card of harmonious change, okay? So you're taking steps, you're taking actions, you are aligning your actions with your beliefs and values, with your destiny, okay? You're taking positive steps, you're being proactive. This is wonderful. Let's see what's going on. Let's use a little bit of context here. All right, Virgo, we have a devil energy, the engine of the car. We have clarity with an ace of swords. We have a 10 of swords. Something is gone. Something is ended. You're saying goodbye to this, and you're saying hello to change. Hello to, new possibilities. Prince of Pentacles, the Eon card. You're going through a doorway that is changing your future. This is you jumping timelines here, okay? Something's over, and you realize that this was an orange that you've squeezed all the juice out of it. It's dry and desiccated. See, there's no water here. This is the driest of the dry land, okay? And you're saying, okay, I'm taking steps. I'm going to change my future. We have a Princess of Swords. We have a Fool, yeah. Complete renewal, reset, rebirth. We have the Adjustment card. And finally, we have a Prince of Cups. Prince of Cups, Prince of Pentacles, the water and the earth. You're building not only a very practical and reasonable life, but you're building the life that you desire. And that's beautiful. That's all we can ask for, right? Is that we have the opportunity to build the life that we truly want to live. Okay? And so I feel like that's what you're doing, because this is the princes are the builders of the tarot, right? This is you building something that you desire. This is what you want it to look like. This is what it actually looks like. Okay? This is what you feel like you're doing, and this is what you're actually doing. And so I feel like there's an alignment there. I feel like now you're building your life from your heart. There's no water, there's no heart here. You look at this card, there's a little tiny heart in the middle there, but nothing really hit. Okay? So this was a past that you're leaving behind that was unfulfilling. That was not aligned with your beliefs and values or your destiny, you see. Anyway, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Jimbo, the Lizard King. Right there on top, a.k.a. Mr. Lizard. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments right below the video. Okay? Now, as we look around the room here, we see major, 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 major. We've not got any fire except this. The Eon card is some fire. It's a fiery doorway. So I feel like you're stepping into fire, you know? This is the Judgment card. I think you're making a very fiery judgment about something in the past. You're stepping into your power, for one thing, okay? You're stepping into your power. You're taking charge We have water at the end. That's what you want. That's what you're trying to build. Otherwise, we've got air, air, air. Even the Fool is air. Even the Libra energy, right? The adjustment card, Libra, air. So you got a lot of air, and you got some earth. But now we're saying, I don't want the air. I don't want just to create the life that I thought was what I should be doing. I want to create the life that feels right. You're stepping into authenticity. You're stepping into power. And that power is allowing you to live authentically. Beautiful. And the Two of Pentacles. Life's busy for you, right? This is us trying to balance everything. Balance, kind of the transition out of the old sort of life and into the new way of doing things, the new routines, the new tasks, whatever it might be, okay? You kind of got to stay on your toes right now. I feel like you're very flexible. You're handling change very, very well. I think this is an intentional change that you have decided to walk away from, and this is kind of a transition where it's almost, I kind of feel like it should be sideways. Kind of looks like a pair of eyes, right? Because I kind of feel like you're transitioning from this to whatever is on the other side of this, okay, to the better future for you. It's a really big change, but it's a real change, okay? It's a fundamental change in your life, it's a big shift. And the Two of Pentacles is our sort of gradual transition. We're still juggling a lot of things. Eventually these things we're not going to be juggling anymore. We're just going to be over here. But I feel like it's a little bit of a slow transition for you, But I feel like it's energizing you. I feel like this is you really, really doing practical things in your life. Now, I don't know if you're getting ready for a physical move, like you're, moving to a new house or something like that. But I feel like there's a lot of things up in the air. A lot of things are a lot of things are mixed up, maybe. And I don't know if you're trying to separate your stuff out from your ex's stuff, or you're trying to somehow untangle yourself from somebody or something, okay? It's kind of like, in a way, I feel like you're working to get the goat untangled from this, Ten of Swords chain link fence kind of thing. I feel like your horns have been stuck in this for a while. And the Two of Wands is you really doing the work to sort of separate these two things out so that the goat can then go through this doorway and start climbing the mountain that you really want to climb and living your authentic life. So for some of you, this is maybe the transition of out of a relationship, out of a job, out of a phase of life, out of a situation that is no longer serving your best interests. Got it? Stay adaptable. Keep the energy flowing. You may feel like you're juggling a lot of things right now. It's going to settle down. Okay? You're not going to have to juggle all these things at the same time forever. Some of them are going to just be gone. Okay? That's kind of the point. That's why you're juggling them all now, is to get rid of a few of them. Pretty soon you're just going to be left with a couple. For me, it's always easier to just juggle two things. It's simple. That's about all I can do. And so, this is like we're sort of breaking a pattern here. This is a pattern break moment. This is where we're getting out of some entanglement. Okay? And this you got to stay proactive. You got to keep doing the right things, taking those positive steps in whatever this is for you. Yeah. And the Devil card that we have here, this is, in some ways, this is the engine of the car. Doesn't have any ability to steer itself. Okay? So it's up to us. And I think that Two of Pentacles is you steering the car. Without you steering the car, the goat is going to get itself stuck in all sorts of situations. Because sometimes this is that card of like bad habits or temptations or like entanglements. We got to be careful with this. Sometimes this is us, if we don't keep the goat on a rope and lead the goat where it needs to go, or drive the car, the engine of the car, it's going to get involved in things that are really going to hold us back, waste our time. lead us into things that are sort of just entangling us, leading us into mistakes, right? Getting stuck in the chain link fence. And the car just kind of loses control, just starts spiraling, or doing donuts on the lawn, You got to get behind the wheel. And this is what you're doing with that Two of Pentacles. This is, old patterns. This is arguments that are just feeding negativity. This is you being stuck in anything that feels dry and desiccated, lifeless, hopeless, meaningless, pointless. You look at this card, all the tips of the swords are broken off. This is literally the pointless card. And so the goat is over here spinning the wheels, spinning the tires in a very pointless way. You're burning up a lot of gas and you're tearing up the lawn. Stop it, right? And so this could be a relationship, it could be a work thing, it could be financial stuff, it could be habits, whatever it might be, attitudes, belief systems, paradigms, worldviews, literally just behaviors, right, that are pointless, that are doing nothing but wasting gas. Okay, so we got to get control of this goat, and we've got to direct it toward a major, major change. So there's something that you really are breaking with. And you're saying, I'm done with this. This is something that's got no more juice left for me. This is a dry hole, and I'm in search of water. And so you're getting a handle on your goat, and you're getting control of the vehicle, and we're going through the doorway. Okay. So freedom is really the name of the game, getting yourself free of this. And freedom starts by seeing what you've been entangled with that you just don't want to be entangled with anymore. And that brings us down here to this Ace of Swords, because this is clarity. This is an aha moment. This is a revelation. This is something, to me, it feels like something that you know deep inside of you, maybe you've known for a long time. It's fine. We're finally saying enough is enough. Yeah. So this is your inner truth. This is your belief in yourself, okay? This is a truth that has cut through any of the confusion. Now you can see how this was all meaningless and pointless, okay? And you're realizing that you are stronger than this, okay? I feel like a lot of you are journaling it out, okay? I feel like a lot of you are sort of expressing a lot of your feelings and a lot of your thoughts and values and all this stuff, in your journals. And that is a wonderful thing, because I think sometimes when we are forced to write things down, when we're trying to journal our life, we have to slow down and be a little bit more deliberate about what we're actually writing. So it helps us to slow our thoughts down. And we really start to have some wonderful insights. I could think all day long and never really come up with anything. But once you start writing, that's when you start getting all these insights, Because it helps you to focus on the clarity. It helps you to be more clear about what you're actually thinking, feeling, doing, wishing for, wanting, what your truth is. And this truth right now is bringing you the victory. This is an inner truth. And what we see with the Prince of Cups here is the bubble in the ocean, right? So this is someone who has their inner truth, even though they're going through a very emotional situation. This is your inner truth. So it really is kind of an emphasis on what's inside the prince. See, the princes are the air of earth, air of water. Right? It's their combination elements, mixtures of elements. This is air inside the water. This is air inside the earth. And this is, of course, the air inside of you, right? It's below the surface in this position. This is your inner truth. And now this inner truth is leading you to change your behaviors. And you're expressing yourself in a more authentic way, and you're building a life that feels more aligned with your true self, with your beliefs and values and your destiny. So this Ace of Swords is it's a divine revelation. This is cosmic light coming in through your antenna on the top of your head. See, the tip of the sword is in outer space, and you're receiving the cosmic rays, and it's cutting through the confusion of the mind, and you have clarity, you have certainty. Beyond the shadow of a doubt, you know what you're doing. Yeah. And that Ten of Swords is what you're sort of undoing. What you're doing is getting away from this. Okay? And it's something difficult. It's something that's ending. It's a relief that is over. Okay? From here, making the decision, going through this doorway. And I feel like the Eon card is kind of the finality of it. Because right now we kind of feel like this is a transition where you're slowly disentangling yourself from this. When you get through this, I feel like by the end of the week, this is going to be finally over. And right now, this is just the period of where like you're sorting through stuff. No, this belongs to them, this is mine. This belongs to you, this is mine. Okay? Sort of, going through that transition process. Yeah, it's not overnight. So I feel like what we have right now this week is that process of getting out of something, getting away from something. It's ended already. You've already identified it as being a dry hole, right? Now you're going through that process of getting yourself finally, permanently sort of separated from that energy. And by the end of the week, I feel like the door is going to be closed and you're going to be all good, okay? So this is a closure. And this is coming from you. You're deciding the lesson and you're blessing the exit. These could be limiting beliefs. Okay? New light is on its way to you. So you're fully free to be done with this. This is an ending that's allowing the next path to open. I feel like you're doing it with a little sense of humor too. I feel like you have the Fool here too, remember? I feel like you're having a little bit of fun with this. Maybe too much fun with this ending thing. But that's good. It's good to be lighthearted about it. It's good to feel like giddy almost and excited that a new path is opening for me. I'm so happy to be done with this thing. There's no guilt, there's no remorse, there's no you don't have to pretend to be sad. It's just like, I'm freaking happy that this is done, and I don't care if that's bad form or if that's a faux pas. I don't care. I'm happy. All right? You're open to the next path. You're focusing on the lightheartedness, the laughter, not on the stress or the worry, and you're just trying to really stay positive. Yeah. The ending is becoming a new beginning for you, and you know that, and that's kind of what makes you so excited and so ready. Okay, you're building something new, and it's aligned with your heart, and that to me is the best news that I could ever bring anybody in a tarot reading. That what you're building in the physical is the same as what you're building in the emotional, and they're aligned. Your heart and your behaviors are aligned, and your mind, of course, is clear, and your spirit, of course, is clear. This is steady work. Okay? This is reliable. You're the builder. This is you showing up every day, doing what you need to do. Yeah. This is you focusing on discipline. It's not about speed, it's about doing it right. And I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if this is career related, if this is school, if this is work, if this is something at home, if it's a relationship or what. Something financial. But you're doing it the right way. And that's why it's not a tower moment. Yeah, a mystery card, maybe be a tower. But it's not just an overnight abrupt thing. I'm just, whatever, just going to walk out the door and never come back. No, you got to get your stuff. You got to, disconnect the bank accounts or whatever, right? You're doing it in the right way. You're organized with your finances. You're scheduled carefully. You're patient. Okay? You're thoughtful. And I think that you're focused on your long-term goals now. You're focused on what kind of life you are building for yourself. And if you're stuck here with that Ten of Swords, you're building a life that is going to be a dry hole. If you stay here and you keep building this, this is a castle in the air. This is nothing. This is not fulfillment. This is not going to give you any juice, you know? And so I feel like you're taking your very powerful, disciplined, practical, wise builder energy, and you're going to put this somewhere that's actually going to be worth it. So you're going to start building something of value rather than continuing to build something that has zero value. It's pointless for you to continue to build this. So why would you continue to do that if it's pointless? You know, like banging your head against the wall. Why? What are you doing? So that's, you know, this is your builder energy. And I love it. And I feel like you're focused on the long-term goals that have value, have meaning, that are going to fulfill you, that are going to be a 10 of cups, not a 10 of swords, right? At least that's the idea. So it's kind of like we already know that this path back here didn't lead us to a 10 of cups. It led us to a 10 of swords. Okay, that's a bummer. You're going to build something else. You're going to go somewhere else and build something new, something different. There's a major change here. And this is you building the 10 of cups. Yeah. And you have this ability to persist. Now, the Eon card is the judgment card. You're judging something. How dare you, right? And you're judging it. You're saying that is a dry hole. That is a dry and desiccated thing. I don't want to eat that. The 10 of swords, you know what the 10 of swords reminds me of in the cartoons, Garfield or whatever, right? Heathcliff. Remember Heathcliff? He would eat a fish, and then he'd pull the fish bones out, and it would just be like the cartoon fish bones. That's what this card is. Saying there's no more nourishment here. There's nothing left of any value. This is what you pull out after you've eaten and you throw it away. Or you compost it, or what, I don't know, whatever you do. You could boil it and make a fish a stock or something, I guess, right? Roast the bones and simmer them in water, and you have a nice fish stock. But the point is that you're not going to eat these, you know. This is what's left over after there's nothing left to consume. Okay. Anyway, but this is you judging it. This is you with your intentional decision that says, this is not for me anymore. Maybe somebody else will come here and find something really good to eat. Okay. Some of the things as humans, some of the things we discard, other animals and bugs and things, that's the food for them. That's what they eat, you know. It's not what we need to eat. And this is you making that decision about the past, saying, I'm done with it. I'm shutting the door. By the end of the week, I feel like that door is going to be closed. You're going to have all your stuff with you, and you're free to move forward. This is the week of untangling. Got it? This is the week of untangling. And I feel like it was a big realization, and it's helping you to move forward. And when I see this card, I think of a spiritual awakening. Awakening is noticing the signal and choosing it. This is something that you knew inside of you. Maybe you've known it for a long time. It's sitting in there. You've known that truth for a long time. This is the week that you're going to actually do the untangling. You're going to do the labor, the physical labor of untangling yourself from something that you've known for a while was a dry and desiccated situation. The past loses its hold. You can start fresh. Speak your truth. Finish it. Finish untangling yourself from this, whatever it is. Change is final, and it is freeing. Okay? And this was a lesson for you to learn. You're turning that lesson now into purpose. Now subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. The readings are totally free. And let me know which card on the path of the dove resonates with you the most. All right? We're going to talk about our Princess of Swords. But first, I want to give you a spirit animal card. I love these spirit animal cards. Let's see what spirit animal we need to embody right now. Maybe it'll be the goat. I don't know if there is a goat one. We have the coyote spirit. Trust in divine detours. Okay? And so we could be looking at the detour in a couple ways. One, you could think that this was a detour. This wasn't the road I was supposed to be on. This was a detour. Okay, trust in that. In other words, realize that there was a reason why you had to be here. There were lessons for you to learn. There was experience for you to gain. But now you've learned all those lessons. You've squeezed all the juice, and it's time to take another detour. So don't get angry. Don't get angry at this. Don't lament this. Don't beat yourself up and say, God, how could I have gotten into this? It's so dumb. No. You were meant to be on this road. And now you're meant to get on a different road. Okay? So you're trusting in this new divine detour. So it's kind of like, now we're taking, the detour is leading us in a different direction now. We're changing. We're changing tracks like a train, with a switch. The Princess of Swords is a very curious energy. This is a card that likes to ask a lot of questions. I feel like this is you speaking up. I feel like this is you saying what you need to say and not feeling scared to have an opinion. Not feeling like you can't communicate your energy. This is, your mind is sharp, you can see the truth, and you can speak the truth. Okay? This is you protecting your energy. This is kind of a defensive card. You see how she's holding the sword kind of like this, like she's parrying something? This is you defending yourself if you need to. Protecting your energy by being honest and being clear. Now's not the time for like flowery words and being all poetic and cryptic. No, it's the time for saying, I'm done. That's a dry hole and I'm out of here. You don't have to be cruel, but you do need to be blunt. You do need to be clear, right? Clear. You may be arguing for what you need. You may feel like you are kind of defending your decisions. You don't owe anybody an explanation. Okay? You don't want anybody to misunderstand you, though. Okay? So, if you're saying, hey, I'm leaving, you got to make sure that they know you're leaving for good. I'm not just leaving to go get a pop from the store and I'll be right back. Okay? This is, no, I'm leaving. Not just, I'm leaving. Okay? So you don't have to explain anything, but be very clear with your words. Okay? The truth right now is really setting you free. And this might even be a card of you kind of exploring other pathways and figuring out what exactly you do want to do now in whatever dimension of life this is. Whether if this is your physical, financial life, mental, emotional life, spiritual, creative life, it's all intertwined. Whether this is work, home, school, whatever. This is you getting curious about like, hey, I got a lot of choices now. I'm off of that road. Now I got a lot of roads out here. There's a lot of things I could be doing. I like a lot of things. What things do I really want to do? What's the path with heart right now? What does my authenticity say? What do I want to try first? Okay? Kind of like looking forward to the adventure, looking forward to the detour. Now we have the Fool. A new adventure is beginning. Try something fresh without fear. Yeah? This is a fresh start energy. A new day, new rules, same powerful you. Be curious, like a child seeing the world for the first time. Yeah? Protecting your energy, being smart. Trusting that the mistakes will teach you what you need. Even that 10 of Swords, it's not a mistake, really. Okay? It's something that was there for a reason. You were there for a reason. There was a purpose to it. There is no more purpose in there. You squeeze the purpose out. What is the water, right? The purpose. You squeeze the juice. There's no more juice left. Stop squeezing that orange. You got everything out of it that you could. Now it's time to move on. It taught you what you need, and now you're going and you're going to be whatever else, whatever's next. This is an energy shift now. Reset your life, your space around you, your breath, and reset your story. Who are you now? Who do you want to be? That Prince of Cups is kind of like you're building the life you desire. You're building the self you desire. Okay? Our future, who you are, where you are, what you're doing down the road. You get to choose now who you are, what you're doing, where you are, what you're doing, and all that stuff. You get to choose that. So what is your story? Yeah. Keep things simple. Don't plan every detail. Keep it open. Keep it fresh. And be excited for the surprises, the novelty of life. The Fool is after that novelty. The Fool just loves starting new things because everything is new, everything is novel. You're on a very novel path right now. Okay? So be open to the surprises. Be cheerful. Okay? You're starting again. You've got hope. You've got courage. And you're making wise decisions. Your adjustment card is your ability to be discerning and choose. You're bringing more balance to your life. This is your higher self perspective. Let's just say that. What choice is your future self already celebrating? Okay. This is you continuing to be the judge. This is the judgment. This is the judge. Set me free. So you're going to move forward in life as the judge. Everything that comes your way, you get to judge it. You're not judging its intrinsic value, but its relative value. What it means to you in the moment that you encounter it. You might say no to something. Not because it's bad or anything like that, but because at this moment in time, it's not for you. Maybe talk to me again in a week. You should have called me last week, you know. Because right now, you're judging things in a certain way. And you have to be the judge of your life every moment. What things are you going to let in? What things are you going to keep out? It's value, right? Value judgments. How much weight are you giving to different things in your life? And where do you choose to put your energy, your resources? Is higher wisdom and discernment. You're making choices that your future self would be very happy about, and that is how you build your authentic self and your authentic life. The Prince of Cups is you building the life that you desire. This is how you want your life to look. This is how it actually looks, and now these two are joining up together. Okay. Wonderful. Beautiful energy. This is authenticity. This is you feeling like you have to be true to yourself even when there is a pressure around you. Even when there is, hostility. Even when there are a lot of emotions. Follow your heart's direction. It's guiding you. Okay? Express how you feel, express your truth, be true to yourself, even when emotions are running high. Create the life that you desire. Build the life you desire. Passion and purpose and practical considerations. Now, this is when it's actually work. It's becoming real. You're building the dream in the physical. The life you desire is the life you're building in the physical. Perfect alignment. Let's look at our mystery card, okay? Virgo, let's see. I'm really feeling either a tower or a hermit here. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Let's see. Oh, the Page of Wands. That's okay. That's good. The Page of Wands is excited about the new journey. You're like, you got your wand ready, you got your nice clothes on, you're really feeling yourself here. You're curious, you're excited, you're exploring your new world. You're learning, you're taking action, you're believing in yourself. Yeah. You're having fun. Okay. You're in your own, you're feeling yourself. I don't know how else to say it. You're inspired, you're joyous, you're open to adventure, you're enthusiastic about life. You've got a youthful vitality with you. It's absolutely nice. It's wonderful. This is the perfect confirmation. And we have both of these. We have like a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, a lot of communication, and we have a lot of experimentation, a lot of getting involved with things, enjoying the novelty that the Fool is after. Okay, so it's kind of like, it's almost like we're a kid again, you know? There's a real youthful vitality that's returning to you, rather than what feels so heavy and so difficult. That Ten of Swords. Okay? We can't keep eating this. So to be free of that and to be light. Okay. Anyway, I had to hit the cough button there for a second. We're going to do an extended reading if you want to stick around. We'll do an I Ching hexagram, we'll do some oracle cards, we'll clarify money and love, and we'll do the yes, no coin. There's a link in the corner, there's a link down below, new readings for Virgo Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.